And we're recording.
Hi guys, my name's Abby. My channel is Abby Coco. I usually make videos about the photo booth business or photography, and today I'm with Josh, who also is a photo booth operator, and he just came out with a couple of new photo booths. And let him introduce himself.
Hey, Abby. Thank you for having me on here. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Okay, so I know you started a couple of new photo booths, and the times are different now, but I know a lot of people are interested in the photo booth business. So there's a lot of people that kind of look for a starter photo booth or the best photo booth. So if you wanted to just kind of give some background on your photo booths that you have, that could help those people that are looking for just that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll just kind of start off by letting everybody know how I got started, with the photo booth business. So I was actually working. So I was working at a call center. For this was back in 2011, 2012. Working 40 hours a week. I thought I was safe. I had a big job at a big multinational company, and went in every day. Had a suit and tie on, and 401k. You know what I mean? And they came in one day and they said, "Hey, we're moving your job overseas." And I was like, "Oh God, like what do we do now?" And luckily, a couple of months before that, one of my friends, he actually called me up and he said, "Hey, I went to an event and I saw a photo booth there, and I think we should do it." So I was like, "Okay, I will give it a shot. I'm willing to try anything." So we went to Home Depot and we built the first photo booth, and it was like I think 3/4 inch MDF wood, which was so heavy. I don't.
Oh my god.
It was so thick. It was so heavy, and like it was so hard. So the first one we made, we built it, and then we made a box, like a speaker box. Imagine like a speaker box, but it had like cutout, for the camera, and then we painted it black. So we we hand painted photo booth on the side of it. Um, so I mean that's all we had, right? But when you start, you don't really have anything.
Didn't work.
So yeah, we did that, and then like the stand was on a tripod, so we had to like carry this big box, which by itself was like 75, 80 pounds, and then you make sure it goes like right into the tripod stand. Man, like it always hurt my back every time. And then we had the canopy tent. I don't know if you had an enclosure, but yeah, that's you
Yeah.
do, you do, yeah. So that's how we started. Like this was 2012. I'd be posting ads on Craigslist. Back then Craigslist was popping. Like Marketplace wasn't around back then. And like Instagram was barely coming on. And it's like, oh, another platform to use. Uh, so yeah, I was just doing that, and we got a lot of bookings just right off of Craigslist, and um, I ended up taking the severance package with my job. So they gave us an option to either stay on and do an entry level position, or take a severance package. So I ended up taking the severance package, and by the time it was my last day of work, we'd already been doing the photo booth business for 6 months, and it was going really well. Like we got really big corporate gigs, Poopery. We did one for like Coca-Cola. And so we are like, oh, it's going really well, like surprisingly well. What do we do now? It's like business can't be this easy, you know.
I used to feel like that too. I was like, this is too easy.
Yeah, it's like, and then like the first year we're like, damn, we did like 150,000 the first year. Like, whoa, what's going on here? Then we had to pay taxes. That's always fun.
Yeah.
How do we do this? And cut all the check, and then you're like, well, we didn't really make any money if we're gonna pay taxes. All going out to eat after the gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go get some Raisin Canes, or let's get some Whataburger. You guys got Whataburger out there?
No, we don't. But we do. We just got Raising Cane's in
Okay.
Alaska. I was like, I know that one.
Yeah. So we had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of failures. There was no one to follow. There was no YouTubers. Nobody teaching this business. There's nothing. There was nothing at all. No
Yeah.
podcast. Like absolutely nothing. So we had to everything is just like trial and error, and we just had to like cross our fingers, and we made a lot of mistakes. And so in 2015, we had a lot of people asking us, "Hey, where can we buy a photo booth?" You know, we'll be working a lot of events. People be like, "Oh, this is awesome! I want to go back and do this in my town." And we're like, "Okay, well, we can sell you one."
Yeah.
And so that's how Photo Booth International was birthed out of that. And so, my specialty is helping people get started. So we make the photo booth, we sell it to them, and then we give them access to a private Facebook group. We give them training. We give them contracts. We show them how to set up their Google Ads, their website. I really have a passion for helping people who are just getting started because I know what it was like. I needed that person so bad to
Mm,
mentor me when I was getting started. I mean, just one mistake I made, like hiring the wrong person or, what type of touchscreen to get or computer or what software to use. Like, it would have saved us so much time. Some of the things like you go on eBay, like just buy a piece of equipment and then it comes like, oh, it's the wrong size. It doesn't fit
yeah.
or it doesn't have, the right features. And so that's what we try to do at Photo Booth International. Up till today, we've helped over 3,000 people start a photo booth business, and we really enjoy doing it. So we just launched a new photo booth. It's the Chloe booth. I think we sent you the link over, so you got like a sneak peek of that. Um, that one's 3,700, 3,799,
That's
and
really
it's yeah, comes with a
how much.
case. It's all inclusive. Comes with a case, touchscreen, camera. You can use any software you want. We have darkroom, Spark Booth options on there. So it's really lightweight, portable, and it can be left unattended as well.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Mhm.
Now that I think about that, with where I started, that's like everything I needed in one. Because after I started, I realized I was dealing with people that were my friends, and then they'd be like, "Can I pay you at the end of the event?" And then the event would be crazy, and then I was just tell them, "Just call me tomorrow," and then yeah, we're not friends no more.
Oh my.
But to have that all in one place, that's really hard to find. This is a new business, and I like that you're photo with international because it's really big everywhere. I have a lot of followers from the Philippines, which is surprising. I'm Filipino, so when they're all
Oh,
commenting,
okay.
I was just like, what is going on? And there's a lot of videos about how it's one of the up and coming businesses there. So that's really, really good to have to offer all of that in one. Is there a booth that you'd recommend that you guys have that's good for someone that's starting at, like a specific booth?
It just depends on their budget, but that's also why we developed this new booth. A lot of people don't have, prior to like COVID and all that, most
Mm-hmm.
of our booths were that most of the packages we would sell are around 8 to 10,000.
Yeah.
And it is a big investment, and we
Yeah.
understand that. So we came out with something, that's under 4,000 that you can get started with. It's better than the iPad boots because, the camera. Also with the iPad, there's a lot of subscription billing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I don't know if you've experienced that, but that's
Yeah.
always a headache. Like you already got 20 things billing you every month. You don't need another another thing billing you. And then the limitations of an iPad. So we developed the Chloe. It uses a 15 megapixel Logitech webcam. Actually, the webcam that I'm using right now is the
Oh,
same
that's
one
pretty.
that's in there. It has an i5 processor and 8 gigabytes of RAM. So you can do green screen, you can do slow motion video, all the cool GIFs, boomerangs, all that stuff. And it has the power to do it. And it looks cool and lightweight. Like you're a single person operator, right?
Yeah. And
So I mean that if I were to sell you like a huge booth that you need like a pickup truck, that
yeah,
would be a problem for you.
the having something portable and condensed was something I was really looking for. Do your booths come with like an enclosement or like a case that rolls around with wheels or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, all of them do. That's kind of when we're thinking about designing a new booth, we start off with the case. There's a lot of single women operators that reach out to us, and we always want to make sure we can accommodate them. And that's the first, when if someone were to call our company, we'll ask them like, what kind of transportation do you have to move it? Do you have help? And then, if they say no, if they say yes, that just cuts out half of the boots that we have because we know like, hey, you need to have someone to help you with this one. We're not going to sell you something, that you can't use. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that you're successful, and that's important to the company and important to me as well.
Yeah, I could tell that you guys really care about how well people can run the business because a lot of times when you buy something so expensive or if you sell something really expensive you just want to sell it, and to find someone that actually like asks those questions, I think that would have been really helpful for me and would have saved me a lot of time because wheels was my biggest problem. I had those nice, not really nice, they're horrible cases that you get from Walmart that only has two sets of wheels on one side, and it's just really hard to move around. So that's really awesome.
Nice. Yeah. So we do the case, and we really, we give them access to the community in the Facebook group. So I'm in there all the time. So I'm showing them like, hey, check out this new promotion with Google. Like right now, Google is actually doing 3 months of free ads management, and I think $75 or $150 ads credit whenever you sign up. So I know one of your other videos you talked about it's not a good time, and in some states, definitely is not a good
Yeah.
time to do that. But if we were to get started, Google does have the promotion where they'll actually help you set up your Google ads and um, like monitor them for 3 months, and that's all free. So there's a lot of resources
Yeah.
available, stuff that wasn't available for us whenever we started.
It was bad. I mean, I started when I was 19, so I was just kind of doing whatever, and there wasn't anything on YouTube. So some people they say like, "Am I too young to start a photo booth business or stuff like that?" I don't think there is age or you're too old. I know a lot of like people that are retired that have a photo booth and they just like to hang around and meet people at these parties, and that's why I always vouch for photo booth businesses. I'm like, no, if you're young and you're in college, it's a really good business to do on the weekends. Or if you're older and you don't have much going on, it's a good business. It's just an all around good business. I know you said that you had a Facebook group. How many people are in your Facebook group?
It's almost 700 now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really
yeah.
good.
We started it about 3 years ago. Um, we should have started right at the beginning, but it's hard to like go back and reach some of those customers. But yeah, there's about 700 people. It's very tight, and we don't allow any people who are not customers. We don't allow any negativity, any complaining. There's enough of that all over the world, right? I mean, you can just put it on the TV, and every single channel there's something. So we're very strict about that. And so we want people to come and feel safe, like to ask questions. Um, how to run a business. Do I need a checking account? Do I need to set up an LLC? What's
Yeah.
business credit? You know what I mean? That's all the stuff that you're gonna have as a business owner when you're just getting started. And there's ambassadors in there that'll respond to you. Like you said, there's people who are retired that have the business. So we got Eddie G. He's been member of the year for the last 2 years, and he's cool. He has a DJ company and he's retired. He just does like weddings, and he got a photo booth, and he's always responding to people and helping people out. So he's just good guy to have on your team.
Cool. I did have a friend who was a DJ that asked me if I wanted to do a partnership, but it was really complicated to do a partnership and then, cut it a deal with him too. So I actually just vouched for him. I actually told him he should look up all of the photo booth companies right now and invest in one because some of them are touchless and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I gotta message him tell him about it.
What software are you using?
Social booth.
Social booth. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, we used to use that. Now we use Darkroom. Um, but they're all great. They all do different
I
things.
wanted to do darkroom, but I think at the time it was really expensive. And then I used a refurbished printer that wasn't compatible with a lot of things.
Okay.
So don't do that. Don't do what I did. I still have that printer. That printer gave me a lot of problems.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you about our first event. Actually, it's good. It's good. So our first event was December 6, 2012. It was
Hmm.
a DJ and photo booth for $500, and we're like, oh, that's a good deal. So because I used to also DJ, yeah, that's a real good deal, right? So it was at it was like a housewarming party. They just recently renovated this house, and so we're like all stressed out packing, right? Like first gig, like so much of
Yeah.
stress and like packing everything, and then we're like already late. I don't even know why we late. Like we knew this was coming for months, but he's still late. So we're like packing up, and we get over there, and like this guy has the photo booth set up inside the bedroom. So it's like, oh man. So we get the tripod, and then we put the booth up,
Mhm.
find the power. The power is like it's an older house that they renovated, so like there's one power outlet in the whole room. So I had to like run the cord, past the doorway, which is always a pain in the butt, and then
Yeah. Finding
plug
it.
it in. And then we actually had an inkjet printer from Walmart,
Really?
an Epson inkjet printer, and we were using Spark Booth at the time. So
Hmm.
it would take a whole 60 seconds to 2 minutes to print out one photo. And
Yeah.
then we had to like cut it. We had a paper cutter. So we had to get the photo, and we had a little table. And my business partner's like girlfriend at the time, she was like cutting it. So she would cut it on the table and then hand it to the guests.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was the first one.
Getting
And then
so
so we set up the photo booth, and I go into like the living room, and I'm setting up the DJ stuff. And then I remember like, oh my God, I forgot my laptop. So I had to DJ the party with two iPhones. Back then, the iPhones had like the headphone jack, luckily,
yeah.
and so yeah, made that work. But yeah, that was a good lesson. But
God.
the struggle was real back then.
Yeah. I always tell everyone go to the party at least like 3 hours before or whenever they let you because I forget something every single time. It could
Yeah,
be my battery or paper.
yeah, ink and paper.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, get in there early, but there's nothing better like once you get that test print set up and you're like, you can breathe.
Mm.
It's like, all right, what are they serving for dinner? What's the food situation looking like?
Yeah, that's when I start seeing someone in the party be like, "Hey, do you want to take the first photo?" And then
Yeah.
the last, then I could just relax and it just goes on and it's nice. That's what I like about the business. Kind of just you hang out and then just brief like that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I always make it a point to go get me some of the wedding cake.
Um, yeah, and there's always so much leftover wedding cake.
There's, yeah, and like one trick is like I always tell my attendants like, hey, carry an extra fork because if it's not a buffet, here's a quick pro tip. If it's not a buffet, there's not going to be cutlery on the table, or there's not going to be enough for you. Because they serve the plates and then they bring it out, right? But so we would always like get a plate of food and like, we don't have a fork to eat it with. It was,
Oh my gosh, that's only happened to me once. I do a lot of like family party. I mean, it's Anchorage. We don't really go to the big events,
mm,
but um, people will give me all the food, and then I don't have anything to eat it with, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll just eat this after, and then I'm super hungry during the 4 hours of the party or something like that.
yeah, yeah. We brought like a box of forks at the office, so we put it like for the attendants. They come and load up, grab some forks and knives just in case. You know, but yeah, it's always something new whenever you go to events. I remember doing this event downtown El Phoenix. It was a restaurant, and no one ever tells you. I go there, and it's like, oh, it's going to be on the second level. Like, okay, cool. Is there like a loading elevator or something? Like, no, it's just a staircase, and the staircase is like in the middle of the dining room. So you
Yeah,
got like 50 people sitting, on tables eating dinner, and then I'm rolling through with this big thing, and the stairs is like it's one of those stairs where like at the halfway point it makes a U-turn. And
yeah.
it's like, how am I going to do this? If you have like bigger booths, it's like so difficult.
People
So yeah, that's one thing. Get there early for sure. Like
a good thing
almost anything.
forums like on those Facebook forums. I joined a random one because there wasn't one specifically at the time, and I would just ask people like, "What would you do if you or my camera is doing this and everyone's coming in the party? What do you do with this?" Or someone just got upset with me because I closed the booth. How do you? I don't know. Those forums and those Facebook groups are lifesavers. They're really lifesavers. So that's why I think it's really awesome that you guys have that.
Yeah. Yeah, those little tips, because
Mhm.
man, you can just be there. My grandma came in from Mars, and she needs to take a photo. I'm like, look, we've been trying to shut down the last 20 minutes, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always like tell the MC, I'm like, can you do like a last call for the photo booth? I'm
yeah,
about to shut it down. That way I feel no remorse. I'm like, oh, the last call was done. I have to
right.
shut.
Yeah, I always try to say like, yeah, we have another event to go to,
Ooh,
so they don't feel bad. I mean,
yeah.
what are you gonna do? Others, you'll be there all night. You really will.
I mean,
And
people like, can I add another hour? I'm like, I guess, yeah. It's let's do it.
yeah, how do you take the payment right away when they say that?
Um, it'll be in the I have it in the contract. Like, if on the time or if on the spot you'd like to have another hour, it's a upcharge of the regular hourly fee that I do, and
Exactly.
I guess it's kind of just faith. It hasn't happened much. I mean, some
Okay.
people, a lot of the parties I do, they're there's Polynesians and Filipinos, so they have like the money dance, and some of them just give me the cash that they got.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I try to like run the credit card. It's almost like double the price, if you're gonna add it on the
yeah,
spot. Is that what you did? Yeah.
yeah. Well, a lot of the times I've been lucky and I've had cash, and the other times they're like, I could pay you with my phone. I think just once it was more towards the beginning when I was really casual with everything. I was like, yeah, just message me tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or I won't release the album of the photos until they give me that any
Oh, yeah, that's good.
leverage with that. That's what I learned with a lot of people. They're like, "Can I have all the digital photos?" I'm like, "Oh, you didn't pay the extra hour." Like,
Whoops. It's so awkward, right? Like at the wedding, it's like bride and groom's like having the time of their life, and you got to go bother them. Like, hey, what's the expiration date on the credit card?
yeah,
I used to hate that.
and well, because I was a photographer, or I am a photographer too.
Okay.
Um, I ask for everyone if they have an alternate person that I can talk to. So it'll be like their maid of honor, or their mom, or something like that. That person will like take the stress away from them on that day, just because they're just having their wedding or whatever. They don't really think about things like the photo booth person in the corner.
Yeah. What else? So, yeah, I wanted to also like let everybody know that if they want to reach out, and we're giving a special discount on photo booths if they reach out with your name on it. We'll give them $100 off the Chloe booth, so
Mm-hmm.
they can actually get it for $36.99. So that's a good deal.
And there is no other photo I can vouch for. There is no other photo booth that I know that is that cheap, that has everything together.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, a lot of times people like if they buy like an iPad booth, it's like 3,000, and then you still got to go buy the iPad. You know.
Oh, dang! No, that's sad in
Yeah.
the end. Okay, and everything's pretty much included, that Logitech camera and all of that.
Yeah, camera, touchscreen, case, software.
Yeah.
It has a really cool lighting features that's on there. So we'll give them a link below. You'll have your special link that's on there. And yeah. Oh, one more thing. If you guys have any questions, they can text me directly too. I have a new. I'm using this new app to communicate with everybody. So you can text me at 972-284-0506. That's going right to my cell phone, right in there.
Okay.
uh, yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to help out. Even if you don't buy a booth, it's no problem. I like helping people. Been doing this for a long time, and I like what you're doing. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time and hanging out and kind of answering all these questions and giving your experience, because people need that, especially with it being an up and coming business.
Hmm. Cool. Well, thank you. Take care.